the daughter of a wealthy art forger, conspires with a professional thief to heist one of her father's forgeries on public display before the insurance agents charged with establishing its provenance put her father in criminal jeopardy. In the 1966 romantic heist comedy, How to Steal a Million. And that's the movie we're dusting off this week on Movie Bones.
Darling.
Hello, Papa.
Oh, careful, I'm covered with paint.
And with money. Yes, I heard all about the auction on the radio. Papa, we've got to have a long, serious talk.
My angel, it was a triumph. I could have sold a dozen Cézannes on the spot.
One's enough, more than enough. This has got to stop, Papa.
One more.
Not again, Papa. So soon?
This long-lost masterpiece will not be for sale for a long, long time. We will hang it, it'll be admired, and who knows, in time some legendary tycoon may be able to persuade me to part with it.
Such a scoundrel.
Thank you, my child. We call my dirt. This is not ordinary dirt, this is Van Gogh dirt. I mean dirt from his own neighborhood. I scraped it myself, of these old 19th century canvases, like this. It took me weeks. A nice touch of authenticity, don't you think? I doubt very much if Van Gogh himself would have gone to such pains with his work.
He didn't have to. He was Van Gogh.
But, my darling, you know that in his whole lifetime he only sold one painting, whereas I, in loving memory of his great tragic genius, have already sold two.
Papa, I keep telling you, when you sell a fake masterpiece, that is a crime.
But I don't sell them to poor people, I only sell them to millionaires. Then they get great paintings like this one.
Okay, before we get into the main centerpiece of the show today, I have to say it's like honorable mention has to be given to Hugh Griffith here because he has some of the most expressive eyebrows and just they're characters in their own. They're like caricatures. I want to draw them, and I probably will at some point. But it's like, but I have to give props to him because he's such a. If you didn't love him, you could still get by in the plot, but because everything else is pretty much to save his hide, you really do kind of have to care about it especially through Audrey Hepburn's eyes, and you kind of get enough of his eccentricity that I have to say he really makes that part of it work.
In the first 10 minutes of the movie, he had me laughing. He just had me laughing, and it really is the eyebrows, the facial expressions. Like I follow this person, different social medias. And one of the things that she actually talks about, which I think is really neat, is, she talks about actors that have that they act with certain parts of their body.
Yeah.
Specifically facial parts of their bodies. Because and you don't really pick up on it. You don't really think about it is what I'm saying. And until she starts because she does expressions of them.
Yeah.
And she's got it down pat. You can almost even see the person in her when she's doing those particular voices, and she's talking the same way, and that's a big part of acting, is acting with your face, and he does that, and he does it with such in this movie, he does it with such comedic timing, and it's in some ways, in good ways, it's kind of unnerving, in other ways, it's cartoonish, and it just really, really just pops really well with this movie. And there are times you're kind of man, I wish he was in the movie a little bit more.
Yeah, I know, right? It's there's this one part where he's where they've just revealed, he's all excited at one moment because he's just signed his papers to have the museum, display it was not his per se, but it's his grandfather or his father, I can't remember which, did a sculpture that is believed to be a Cellini, but it's not a Cellini, although everyone else believes it's a Cellini. The famous Cellini. And it's and so he signs the paperwork, he's signing it over. And that's when, of course, the representative of the museum drops the bomb on him. And it's and we'll just, we'll go ahead and get this, the insurance people to verify the provenance to make sure it is actually what you said it is. And there are those eyebrows, they just go, oh, and even you could see them from a mile away, the change in expression because of those eyebrows. And it's oh man, he's such an emotive force in the movie. Yeah, you do want more of him. in small doses even, he's really a potent force in those scenes. And it's great because he's acting across from Audrey Hepburn most of the time. And
Yeah.
so it's like, and she's got all this charisma herself, as does Peter O'Toole. The whole cast is like they're all like A-listers of charisma.
No,
And yeah,
absolutely.
you could do a perfectly competent heist movie, but you add on top of that the charisma and romantic tension between these two people, these two actors, famous for that kind of thing. And man, I'm just telling you, it's like getting your chocolate and strawberry and vanilla. It's like getting the whole, flavor rainbow at once.
A lot of Audrey Hepburn movies are about her being in love, or there is a romantic side to it all. Out of all of the actors that she's been in movies with, they play opposite of her as the romantic lead.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best.
It's next level stuff.
You can make an argument that Cary Grant, in
Charade.
I think they're Charade. I almost said South by Southwest.
So,
but yeah. like their chemistry's pretty good, but you could also make an argument he's later in his career. He's just, you kind of like, well, he's going through the motions and everything. Then you've got her and Gregory Peck. They play well off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think have we ever done Breakfast at Tiffany's here?
I haven't seen it on Tubi in particular.
Yeah.
It might, if it ever comes up, we should watch it. I mean, we both have seen it, I guess, haven't we? I've seen it at least.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That one, she stars opposite George Peppard, which I don't remember him as much. She's really the dominant force in that one. Yeah.
I don't really count. What is that movie called? The horror movie?
The suspense thriller. Wait Until Dark. Wait Until Dark.
Yeah, Wait Until Dark. That one.
Yeah, there's nothing romantic really about that.
But I'm telling you, out of all of the movies that I've seen with her in it, this is grade A, top notch. Her and Peter O'Toole. Like, you kind of wonder how much of that was potentially ad-libbed between the two, because like the timing is just perfectly there.
Yeah,
and
I know.
It's just, they hit it home.
There's even a part, and like this could be one of those scenes where it's like, you wonder if it was ad-libbed or not. It's like they're sitting in a restaurant, the two of them, and she's coming all kind of surreptitious. She knows what she's about to ask him is illicit. And this is where she proposes the crime of stealing her father's, statue back from the museum. And it's like, and he just kind of slides over. He starts to get the vibe that it's illicit, that it's going to involve stealing. And it's like, he starts talking like Bogart. But in another movie, I hate it when a character tries to do kind of like a forced imitation. Sometimes it feels out of character, but he pulls it off and it feels natural here. And I usually hate that kind of thing. Peter O'Toole, I think, is one of my favorite, leading actors of the period. There's something about Peter O'Toole's voice and the way he can seamlessly do those things. It just feels smooth. He is actually smooth. Whereas people say Cary Grant is smooth. I've never felt it as much. And yeah, he's a good actor and he's hit and miss. I feel like I could watch anything with him in it. And it would be kind of like you and, Audrey Hepburn or, where it's like one of those things where it's just, you're going to like it because Peter O'Toole in that case for me. That's what I get
that means that that means at some point we need to watch Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes, we're going to have to, I feel. Well, we may have to watch it in installments each. We'll do it as one episode, obviously, but it'll be like we're going to have to build it. We're going to work ourselves up for that one, that 4-hour magnum opus.
One of the movies that I remember him most for is Troy. And he actually very much delivers like a line that is ripped directly from the Iliad itself, where him and Achilles talking, and it's after the death of Hector. Spoiler alert. That scene right there, woo, everything you're saying about Peter O'Toole really comes out in that scene. Like he just, he delivers just an amazing rendition of those lines. And you feel it in him. Almost in some ways, I know it sounds wild to say this, but in some ways, I guess you could say in like later in life, he becomes underrated, which is a wild thing to say. But in all of the movies that he's been in, there's never been a moment where I'm like, oh, look, it's Peter O'Toole. No, it's like, oh, look, it's Peter O'Toole.
But another thing I like about this is that it is a heist film, but it kind of blends the kind of that screwball comedy humor when they figure out what to do with that, about getting the statue itself. their solution to it actually is fairly juvenile. It involves a kid's toy. It goes back to the blending of genres again. It's like there's that humorous aspect to it and how they pull it off. And there's an
Yeah.
ingenious aspect to it too. It's actually quite ingenious. And he never lets her in on what he's planning to do, which kind of lets you be in her shoes of being about what's going to happen next. What's he going to do to solve this problem? You know what I mean?
In some ways, I'm sitting there going, I don't really think you know what you're doing. Like that's the kind of the beautiful thing about the story is like, it does kind of put you in a way. It's like, okay, this guy, he seems like he knows what he's doing. Then it's like that whole boomerang thing, which again, just hilarious. And just hilarious. And I'm sitting there for a little bit going, does he actually know what he's doing? And I do think a little bit of the twist that this movie comes in is meant to play a bit into that, but it's still really funny. Also, I got to give it up to the guys who played the guards in this movie. They did such a good job. Like, again, it's that cartoonishness that this movie just really kind of accentuates. It just makes it work so well.
You think a little bit about the Pink Panther a little bit, a little bit Clouseau vibe to it.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but one of my favorite jokes, it comes back, it's recurring from time to time, is how Peter O'Toole keeps noticing. He just looks at the statue. He's like, and he looks at her. And it's because it's her great-grandmother or something that it was based off. It's like, I can't help but notice. And he would have an eye for that kind of thing. And it's like, I could help. I couldn't, I just, and she just, and it drives her nuts too, because she knows the truth, and he's just kind of pressing her buttons because he kind of knows the truth too. He's just doing it to press her buttons.
Yeah, truly. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of going to backtrack just a little bit because it's something in my notes and I laughed at it. That whole scene where he's throwing the boomerang and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things I actually put in my notes, because I just was thinking about it on the spot when he's doing that. Like, I just jotted down. I was like, his character would have loved drones. Like, I thought about the movie in like this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
And like, if this movie's made right now, that character would have totally had a drone, and it would have probably been the weirdest hijinks ever because that thing would have died.
Yeah, it's like that's where you have to kind of rely on. You'd have to rely on. And this one, it's like there's some luck involved because if you throw a boomerang, obviously, it's like you have to have. He doesn't have perfect control, so even it doesn't even work the first time he does it. He has to do it a couple times to make sure it goes through. And if he messes up, then that causes other problems too. But it's like, but the drone is like it's much more precise and careful. So you'd have to have, like you said, some kind of technical issue to add some tension. So, but in that case, in this sense, I do like the fact that it is just a boomerang, actually. And there's some charm, there's an extra layer of charm just because it is just a kid's toy,
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to forget because there's also another actor in this we've seen before, Eli Wallach. The difference in role he has here compared to what we've seen him in before is like, I don't want to overlook him because what he does is really awesome too, in that he's this bumbling kind of American business guy tycoon who's really into art, and he just has this love affair with the statue. It's like I love the statue. And the funny thing is, he's kind of in a way, he's trying to romance the statue from the granddaughter of the person who was kind of modeled on. So he's kind of romancing the real woman who's kind of has a flesh and blood relation to the original model, not knowing any of that. But it's like it has an extra layer to that too. And Eli Wallach he's just a really good actor too. They had a good supporting cast.
There are movies out there when you watch them and it may be good, but maybe not as quite as good as it could be. And you can chalk it up to a variety of things, but sometimes you chalk it up to they just didn't buy into it. Everybody in this movie seemed to buy into the movie.
Yes.
It's a simple story. It's not complicated, but it's also very heartwarming. It's very heartfelt. And everyone seemed to be like, I like movies where it seems like people are having fun when they're if it's meant to be a fun movie in that way, where people seem to be having fun as the movie is, progressing. And I thought they did a very, very good job of doing that.
It's a good enough time for the spoiler is that Peter O'Toole's, Simon he's not really a thief. He's an investigative art criminologist, I guess you could say, where he's paid by others to discern, frauds from the real thing. And this whole time, and so it's like, and so he's in a position then to hold it over her father. It's like, you have to go in the straight and narrow path. And it's like, as a condition, it's like, it's like, that's the condition for me not ratting you out. It's like, and give into the hand of your daughter too. And basically. But I just imagine like the family dinners they would have together and how tense it, in the future. It's because he's not going to be good. You could even see it at the end of the film. He's not going to be good, even though he promised he would be. You could tell. He looked back. Peter O'Toole's looking back. He's like, yeah, he's already at it again. But what am I going to do? So it's like I just have to deal with this for the rest of my life, I guess. So
yeah. Something kind of unfortunate about this movie.
What's that?
It didn't really do as well as they wanted it to.
Huh. That's sad.
Yeah. It didn't make its budget back. You kind of wonder why that is the case.
Yeah, I would imagine like Audrey Hepburn, this is at the height of her career at this point. And, and Peter O'Toole would be a draw too. It must have been like a competing movie or something. I don't know.
Apparently, there was nothing that came out in the domestic box office for July 1966.
Huh. Did they release it in like 2 theaters or something? I guess the point is this thing has the hallmark of, a big draw. This movie has everything that you'd think has big draw name attraction to it at the time. And so there's a mystery there, folks. If you can tell us out there what it is about this movie that it wasn't a success, sure, go ahead and tell us, because it is a bit of a mystery. It's got us wondering.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 100%, based on the 11 critics that have watched it on there. So,
is it any wonder? I'll go first this time. Obviously, this is Fortune and Glory for me. In its genre, this is gold-plated stuff. There's no weak link here that I can find. And it's got, a couple of my favorite actors in the time period, doing their A-class best. Whatever the audiences at the time didn't see in it, I'm glad it survived, because I get to see it today, and I can tell you. Go watch this film, folks. Ryan, I doubt you're different from me on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the same way. One, yes, it is partly because Audrey Hepburn. I just love her in every film she's been in. But that's not just the case here. It is super funny. Like I said, the chemistry between her and Peter O'Toole is just amazing. So much so that I had to go look, did these two date or anything like that? They didn't. But, the chemistry's well. And it's just the supporting cast is really well as well. My only critique about this movie, and this has nothing to do with the length, but it's one of those movies, there's a couple times where at the end, there's just kind of a couple scenes where you're like, this feels like it could have been the ending. And then it keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only real critique about the movie, in that way. That happens from time to time in movies. It's not a bad thing necessarily. So, but yeah, I think it's a movie that you can sit down and watch. You can watch multiple times because, again, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It is a heist movie. At the same time, it's poking fun at heist movies. Because there's always a bit of ridiculous to heist. We know that heists do happen, or have happened in the past.
Yeah.
But it's just, there is some ridiculousness to it in the movies that we have seen that are a heist, because it's there's no way you get that lucky with every little thing.
No.
And that kind of shows this in this movie. And I love that. So yeah, for me as well, it's a Fortune and Glory. Funny, charming, charismatic, Audrey Hepburn.
It's got it all. At this time, we'd like to remind our listeners out there that if you're having a good time with Ryan and me dusting off these old movies in search of celluloid treasure, like today's movie, please do like and subscribe and comment. And of course, follow us on your podcast purveyor of choice. Tell us what you think we got wrong. We're only human, although we're not wrong in this one. And clue us in on a few titles you'd like us to see cover on future episodes, as long as they're available for free on Tubi, because this adventure comes with no strings attached. And on the subject of the next week's episode, Ryan, do tell the folks out there what they should be tuning in for if they want to keep up with us.
Okay, so for my best guess, I can't tell if this is a horror movie or a thriller movie. It could be both. This stars Bette Davis, Carl Malden, Peter Lawford, and Philip Carey. It's actually directed by Paul Henreid. This is what Tubi says. Envious of her sister, a woman kills and impersonates her sibling only to encounter scrutiny from a watchful police sergeant and a cunning suitor. This is 1964, which I think this is not the only time this film has been made, by the way. But this is 1964's Dead Ringer.
Yes. And I have seen this once before. I have enough of a memory to kind of get the vibe for what I was, I felt during watching it. But the details, it's been far enough in the past now that the details are starting to kind of wash out of my head. So it'll be interesting to see what I think on second viewing. I'm not going to give any kind of hints about what I thought the first time. Tune into that for next week, and you will catch all of our reaction to that. In any case, I can't think of anything else to say this week, Ryan. And so I guess we'll see you guys out there next week. And Ryan, I'll see you next week, okay?
See you next week.
All right, folks. Bye-bye.
What's the job? I'm in.
The Clay Bear Lafayette Museum.
I'm out.